best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr.
Thank
President.
And with that, the changing of the guard.
The will of the people has been heard, and the will of the people has been heeded.
Joseph R. Biden Jr. is now the President of the United States.
For me, it was kind of like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I'm glad it's happening. I don't know what's going to come next from it, but I'm so happy that we have this opportunity.
History today, Kamala Harris, the first woman vice president in the White House in the United States' 244-year history. President Donald Trump broke with tradition and did not attend the inauguration, but former Vice President Mike Pence was there, and now he is back in Indiana. What he is saying tonight.
The news at 6 starts now.
And good Wednesday evening. I'm Amanda Starrentino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Good to have you here with us. First tonight, it is official. Joseph R. Biden Jr. is now the President of the United States, and Kamala Harris is the first female vice president in U.S. history. Both President Biden and Vice President Harris were sworn in earlier today. Biden is the 46th president, and already he has signed a number of executive orders today, including reestablishing the U.S. as a member of the Paris Agreement. During his inaugural address, Biden spoke about American resilience in the face of the pandemic and urged people to come together to heal a nation that's divided over several issues right now.
We must end this uncivil war that pits red against blue, rural versus urban, conservative versus liberal. We can do this if we open our souls instead of hardening our hearts.
As President Biden took his oath of office, he looked out over 200,000 American flags displayed on the National Mall. They symbolize people who could not attend in person because of the pandemic.
Ready to serve. That was Vice President Kamala Harris's first tweet moments after she was sworn into the second highest office in the land today. The Madam Vice President is breaking barriers and inspiring the next generation of female leaders across the country. Our Nikki Dementri sat down with Girls Incorporated of Greater Indianapolis to talk about what this moment means.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Vice President Kamala Harris. It's a historic moment for both Elisa Campo-Dani-Cobar.
It's a powerful moment in the lives of girls. If you can see people who look like you in positions of influence and power and where you want to be, you can dream it, you can be it in the future.
And Taylor Connor.
If a woman can become vice president, then I can work past the biases and the prejudice that would keep me from becoming a physician, keep me from opening my own practice.
Both women are involved with the nonprofit Girls Incorporated of Greater Indianapolis. For 50 years, the organization has encouraged young women in leadership.
Vice President Harris says this herself, is that, she might be the first, but she most certainly will not be the last. And, having girls like Taylor take those seats in the future, it means everything in the world to us at Girls Inc.
The Heron High School senior is one of 3,000 young women involved with Girls Inc. every single year. She joined 3 years ago, around the time Campo-Dani-Cobar became the president and CEO.
I think that this is going to make the next generation of young women, especially young women who strive to be in positions of power, who strive to hold elected positions. I think that this is going to be a representation that they can get their foot in the door.
Harris's achievements are paving the way, Campo-Dani-Cobar says, for the next generation of female leaders. She feels today is also a day to remember all of the women who blazed the trail before her.
This is such a moment for us, for all of us, every citizen, whether you're, no matter your gender, it's a big moment for our country, and we should all take stock in it.
Yes, Harris is the first female, Black, Asian American, and child of immigrant parents to become vice president. But Connor says it's much more than that.
It's great to have the representation that she happens to be a woman. She happens to be a person of color. She happens to be the child of immigrants. But she also happens to have every single criteria that makes her a very efficient and effective leader.
Both women agree the work doesn't stop here. There are doors yet to be kicked open, and to them, there is now hope.
You're not going to tell me, you're not going to tell every other woman in this country that she is not capable.
Nikki Dementri, WRTV.
And you may have noticed the color purple prominent during the inauguration ceremony this morning. Vice President Harris, along with former First Lady Hillary Clinton and others, were donning the color. But there is a deeper significance here. Purple is one of the colors of the women's suffrage movement. It also stands for bipartisanship, since red and blue mixed together creates purple.
This is Donald Trump leaving the White House for the last time as president. As we mentioned at the top of the show, he broke with tradition and didn't stay in Washington, D.C. for the inauguration of President Joe Biden. Instead, President Trump and his wife, Melania, flew to their Mar-a-Lago home in Florida. Vice President Mike Pence stayed in D.C. and attended President Biden's inauguration. And after the ceremony ended, Mike and Karen Pence flew home to Columbus, Indiana, to a group of supporters. WRTV's Stephanie Wade was there. Stephanie, what was the former vice president's message for Hoosiers today?
Well, Mark, it really came full circle for the vice president today, from starting out his career as a local congressman right here in Columbus, Indiana, to then becoming the state's governor for 4 years before making his way to the White House as vice president. Mike Pence wanted to come back to his hometown and thank everyone that helped get him where he is today. Now, it was more of an intimate gathering. There were about 50 of his friends and supporters who welcomed the Pence family back home in Indiana after they had attended now President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris's inauguration earlier this afternoon, but did not attend President Trump's departure ceremony. He congratulated President Biden and Vice President Harris and thanked President Trump and First Lady Melania for the opportunity to serve. Proud moments he described from his administration were rebuilding the military, growing the economy, and appointing several Supreme Court justices. Also in attendance today was his brother, Congressman Greg Pence, who I spoke with and said it's bittersweet welcoming his brother back home in Indiana.
I also leave this job deeply inspired. Having traveled across this country to big cities and small towns, having spent time with our soldiers, our first responders, having spent time with Americans in virtually every state in the Union, I leave this position more impressed with the American people than when I started.
As a brother, what's your most proud moment of him and maybe your least proud moment?
Well, I don't have a least proud moment. I really don't. I think he's just did an outstanding job the whole time. I think the way he supported his president and the administration was just the right thing for every president to do. President Biden did that for President Obama, and my brother really distinguished himself as in the same line of support for his president.
So what's next for Vice President Pence? He says he and his family will be moving back here to Indiana this summer. And he also announced he's going to be a grandfather in the spring, as his son and his wife are now expecting. Reporting live tonight in Columbus, Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
Stephanie, thank you. And the big question is what's next for the former vice president and Indiana governor. Rafael Sanchez talked with the Indiana spokesperson for the 2020 Trump campaign.
What do you think will be the future of the former vice president?
I think he's still got a bright future. He was a great partner for the president. They accomplished so much over the years. They built the strongest economy this nation's ever seen. They rebuilt the military. They did so much for veterans.
Do you think Mr. Pence will run for president in 2024?
I'm sure he'll be thinking about it, and he should. But we'll wait and see. There's a decent amount of time between now and 2024. But as you know, that all starts sooner than it should.
Tony Samuel, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Best of luck to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And tonight, a disagreement about where money raised through Indiana military license plates should go, why many are not happy with the state's Department of Veteran Affairs.
And I'm Brad Brown, live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The Pacers are home after a week out west. We'll take a look at tonight's matchup, plus what they have in store. And the Colts are searching for a new quarterback soon. What's coming up in sports?
And it was a beautiful sunset. The sun's scheduled to return 8:01 tomorrow morning. We'll talk about the ups and downs of temperatures coming up.
Floors to your home, that too.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
The state's Department of Veteran Affairs is looking to keep a chunk of the revenue generated from military license plate sales. The proposal is not sitting well with veterans who say the money should be used to help veterans in need, not pay for administrative costs. WRTV Investigates Kara Kenny has been tracking problems within IDVA for more than 2 years, and she joins us now with what's in this proposal.
Hoosier veterans in need of help with food, housing, utilities, medical services, and transportation can turn to the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs and its Military Family Relief Fund. Money generated from veteran license plate revenue like Army, Navy, Marines, and Support Our Troops. In 2018, WRTV Investigates uncovered IDVA giving out military relief fund benefits beyond the $2,500 limit, including to IDVA's own employees.
The rules are the rules.
Veteran advocate Lisa Wilkins spoke out about the misuse of the fund 2 years ago, so she was shocked when she saw this new proposal. House Bill 1264 would allow IDVA to use up to 15% of the Military Family Relief Fund for paying administrative costs and operation of the fund.
We see those as donations because Hoosiers pay a higher cost for those specialty license plates to support our troops, to show pride in their service, all knowing that that extra money goes into our Military Family Relief Fund to help veterans in need.
The Military Veterans Coalition of Indiana wrote this letter to the governor saying taking 15% away equates to over $270,000 that would not be available to assist over 110 Hoosier veterans.
Since this fund has been created, that there's never been an administrative charge, and that the citizens of Indiana don't want their money going to pay for administrative costs. And in this case, we're talking about a significant amount of money.
Lori Turpin is a retired Navy nurse.
I think it sets a very bad precedent. The people who buy these license plates, myself included, we think that $15 per plate goes to grants to actually help individual veterans, not to fund projects or staffing for a state office.
Lori and other veterans are also concerned about a provision in House Bill 1264 that would allow veterans who were discharged from the military for bad conduct to receive benefits.
It minimizes the importance of an honorable discharge for those of us that got honorable discharges.
I just don't think that the citizens of the state, certainly members of our coalition, don't want to pay for a person that didn't serve under an honorable condition.
We do not believe that we should be lowering our standards.
Lisa Wilkins says the state should find other ways to pay for IDVA's administrative costs other than dipping into license plate revenue. She suggests the IDVA use its regular budget or cut the $910,000 spent annually to help 5 veteran service organizations like the American Legion and VFW.
I see that as an opportunity for IDVA to kind of pull some of that money back that they're passing through the agency to use for the agency if they need money, rather than pulling it from our Military Family Relief Fund.
Veterans we talk with say they agree with some parts of House Bill 1264, like removing the requirement for wartime service to get relief funds. They also agree with removing the requirement that you have to have 12 months of military service to get benefits. But veterans we talk with say they want to make sure funds generated from military license plates go to as many veterans in need as possible, not to administrative costs.
We need to make sure that our state is as veteran supportive as we portray it to be.
Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
And we reached out to IDVA Director Dennis Wimmer for an on-camera interview. He did not make himself available. We also reached out to Governor Holcomb's office, but we are still waiting to hear back.
COVID-19 is still a major problem in Indiana, even as we await for even more Hoosiers to get fully vaccinated. Today, the Indiana Department of Health confirms 62 additional coronavirus-related deaths. To date, 9,154 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. The State Department of Health also reports 2,942 additional coronavirus cases. This is the third day in a row that the number has been below 3,000 new cases. In total, 598,313 people in Indiana have tested positive for COVID-19.
Sunshine, cold temperatures, and lots of wind today. I'm sure this cardinal found it a little more difficult to relax and just sit on a tree branch as we had wind gusts over 40 miles per hour, 44 in Indy, 45 in Kokomo. Normally, after sunset or often after sunset, the wind begins to calm down. But I think this evening we'll continue to see wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour tonight. Okay, the orange glow on the horizon. What a great day. Although on the cold side, temperature in Indy right now 30, 33 in Terre Haute. As you look at these temperatures, add about 10 degrees for tomorrow. That's the spike in temperatures over the next 24 hours. It won't last, though, as you can see. It's pulled right back from under us on Friday, and Saturday will struggle as well just to get back to the freezing mark. Enjoy that 44. We focus a lot on high temperatures. We'll have the morning low on Saturday at about 15. That'll probably be the coldest morning since we had Christmas. Temperatures tomorrow morning around midnight or shortly after will be the 28-degree temperature. It warms a little bit by morning, and then 24, as you can see, Friday before we bottom out on Saturday. Temperatures during the day tomorrow make their move already by noon to 40. 44 the afternoon high. A theme here will be clear nights and mostly sunny days for the next couple of days. We don't have any weather system really to worry about until we get to Sunday and Monday, and temperatures will be a little warmer then and bring us a rain-snow mix, it looks like. Tomorrow, breezy. West winds will gust over 20 miles per hour, but temperatures make their way into the mid-40s, central and south. As you look at Friday conditions, partly to mostly sunny skies and much cooler. You'll notice that right away. You'll be back to the heavier jacket. There are temperatures in some spots that won't make it to 30 degrees. As we step into the weekend, the change comes Sunday. It's still cold and dry Saturday. Sunday, a chance for rain and snow. Maybe a couple snow showers in the morning Sunday, and then later, Sunday night and Monday will be the bigger push from a weather system to bring a rain-snow mix, it looks like, on Monday as temperatures come back to around 38 for the high. Tuesday and Wednesday were dry with temperatures in the mid-30s and a mixture of clouds and sunshine. That's the 7-day forecast. It's been a busy day in sports as well. Let's check in with Brad Brown for that.
Yeah, Kevin, thanks. We're going to start with the early headline from the Colts today. Quarterback Phillip Rivers calling it a career after 17 NFL seasons, finishes 5th all-time in passing yards and touchdowns, among others. 39 years old, sure to be a Hall of Famer. So who will be the Colts' next starting QB? It'll be their 4th new starter in 4 straight years, so that chatter will commence soon. Great words from all over the NFL for Rivers today. These thoughts in a statement from Colts owner Jim Irsay, saying even though he wore the horseshoe for only 1 season, it was a season to remember, and we were fortunate to have his leadership and passion in our building for this part of our climb. Rivers will coach some high school football in Alabama back home next fall. We welcome you live to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Disney on Ice was here last week, but we're back to some basketball here tonight. The Pacers home for the first of 4 games, taking on the Dallas Mavericks here this evening. Pacers coming off a West Coast trip that saw them go 2-2. 2 very good wins, but 2 very bad losses when they gave up 127 and 129 points to the Clippers last time out. Part of that was the absence of Miles Turner. As it turns out, he's dealing with a broken bone in his right hand, but it's not going to keep him out really much at all. In fact, Miles is going to kind of muscle right through it. Found out yesterday that it is an avulsion fracture in his right hand. He's not expected to need surgery. His 50 block shots in the first 12 games this season is more than 6 teams in the NBA currently. Pacers head coach Nate Bjorkgren talked yesterday about Miles' toughness in playing through all of this.
Nothing that's going to stop him. I mean, there was first news that this could be 2 or 3 weeks and all that. He comes up to me, he says, "Coach, no way." You know, just his toughness. He's the anchor of our defense. He's so active out there.
Next 4 games for the Pacers are here at home. Dallas tonight. The Magic are here Friday. Sunday will be the first game with paying fans back at the Fieldhouse. A quick note if you're among them, Sunday's game is at 1 o'clock. Toronto will also be here on Monday night. How about Purdue's win last night? They came back to beat Ohio State 67-65. 4th straight Big Ten win for the Boilers. Freshman Jaden Ivey hit the go-ahead 3 with 5 seconds to go. Another big shot from a kid who's been on the rise all season. And Jaden, very emotional afterwards.
I told myself, you know, this game is over. I'm hitting the shot. And, you know, I've been I've been in a slump. And, I'm just trying to gather myself because I know I want this game so bad.
That kid. Great stuff from that kid. Expect more from him as the season goes on. Butler's first road win of the season came last night, 67-53 at DePaul. Jair Bolden, 21 to lead the Dogs. Miles Tate and Chuck Harris scored 10 each. BU's got a tough one at home Friday night at Seton Hall. One of the Big East leaders coming here to town. There will actually be a few fans here tonight, some season ticket holders and special guests. They've got pretty much the entire arena giving kind of a dry run of sorts before they start to bring 1,000 fans in Sunday and Monday next week. And progressively, the Pacers and Bankers Life Fieldhouse will be adding some more as we get into the month of February. Highlights of this one coming up tonight for you on the news at 11. We'll see you then. Time for one more break. Back to the studio to wrap up the News at 6, your Wednesday edition, next.
.com.
If you have wind chimes at your house, you'll hear them tonight. Winds will still gust to 30 miles per hour even after midnight into the early morning hours, then begin to calm down a little bit during the day tomorrow. Probably tomorrow's highlight for you, there could be several, but sunshine is one, but temperatures of around 44 for the high temperature. That's a highlight because look what happens. We drop Friday to the lower 30s. I think Friday and Saturday, Mark and Amanda will be lucky to get to the freezing mark, and Saturday morning down to around 15 degrees.
Thanks for making WRTV your choice for news.
Up next here on WRTV is World News Tonight with David Muir. And then join Amanda, Kevin, and me for the news at 7. We'll see you then.